Hello. Cue the music. 'Tis the season to be jolly. That's what that Christmas song wants us to believe. But is it really? Because while the lights are twinkling and the hot chocolate is flowing, some people are unwrapping presents they did not expect, and those presents can leave us speechless. There's also families who abandon their own for the holidays, forcing them to find a brand new version of home. And of course, what would the season be without a holiday proposal, which turns into instant regret once the alcohol wears off? Hello and welcome, Threadheads. My name is Ashley, and today we're diving into Reddit's holiday horror stories. Well, it's not really horror, I'm just being dramatic. But the holiday spirit clashes here with bad decisions and broken expectations. And as a jury of Threadheads, I want to know if we are adding these people to the naughty list this year. Well, for some of them, and no spoiler, you can't really add them to the naughty list, I guess, and you're gonna find out why. If you enjoyed today's video and you're feeling a little jolly, don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up, then subscribe and hit that notification bell. You know, help a poor girl out this season. Give some affection to the affection deprived. Please sprinkle a little love my way. As always, thank you guys for being here. It means the world to me, and it also means you're a nosy person. But don't worry, I am right there with you as we ride on Santa's sleigh and spread the word that gossip is here to stay. Some of my best work is happening here today. Now, grab your blankets, grab your mug, and whatever patience you have left from spending time with your families this season. Because without further ado, let's jump into some stories. Ashley read it, and now, so will you. We are going over to the Legal Advice UK subreddit with a post by Proper Mistake Regret. OP says, I proposed to my girlfriend whilst I was drunk on New Year's Eve night. Can I cancel and get the ring back? I'm seeing someone else and I wanted to break up with my girlfriend. So he's cheating. I bought the ring from my work colleague and I wasn't planning to propose until the holiday we planned. But during New Year's Eve, I proposed to my girlfriend. It's been posted on my friend's Snapchat, my girlfriend's Facebook page, everywhere. I saw people proposing, so I wanted to go with the flow and propose to my girlfriend whilst partially pissed. Can I get the ring back? And can I cancel the engagement, please? This muffle was going to leave his girlfriend high and dry. He was going to bamboozle this woman, just break up with her and propose to his work colleague who is cheating with? Cut the cameras. This man deserves to be flogged, publicly beating in the town center on a Saturday so that when we're done beating him, we can then throw fruits from the farmer's market at him. Now, I know he's come for legal advice, and we will get to that in the comments, but I'm still trying to process the fact that this idiot is seeing someone else. Pause. People who date their work colleagues, I want to say you guys are risk takers. Risky move. Sometimes it works out for people, I get it. Sometimes people have happy endings with their work colleagues, but most times it doesn't end up well. It ends up very awkward. And he's planned a holiday with this person. My own question is, does the work colleague know he is in a relationship? Then she still agreed to be a mistress. He spent the New Year's Eve with his girlfriend, not even with you that he's about to propose to. He spent it with the girlfriend he's about to break up with. This man is a son of a B word. He's just straight up being a villain. He's out here being a menace to society. And it's funny because he's here in the UK. I could be walking past this man for all I know when I go to my neighborhood Sainsbury. I could just see this man checking out like a bottle of wine and I'm greeting him and I'm walking past him. When I should be decking him, I should just launch at him. He doesn't have any remorse for it. His only question is, can I take that ring back? And my own question is why? Because the ring you've given to another woman, you want to take it back and then give that same ring to the girlfriend. You're gonna give her a hand-me-down ring. Wow. And then the top comment is by sorry, I'm just still so frazzled up by this man's audacity. But the top comment is by a deleted user who says, I've not been bothering with Reddit over Christmas, but it's nice to come back to an early nomination for the stupidest post of the year, especially so early on. Let me check if I got this straight. You were planning on proposing to a work colleague when you go on holiday, despite the fact that you are still seeing someone you class as your girlfriend. However, in a twist of fate, you took that engagement ring out with you on on New Year's Eve. Either that or you took the wrong girlfriend out. Either way, mistakes were made. Those mistakes were compounded when you got caught up in the heat of other people's affections and proposed to your wrong girlfriend. And now you want legal advice on whether you can get the ring back so you don't have to buy another ring and can instead give your intended fiancé your accidental fiancé's ring. Well, from a legal perspective, you are the crap out of luck because a gift is a gift, even when given by a moron. However, there is a solution. Tell your current/accidental fiancé about the mistake. Honesty may actually be your best policy here, because I suspect that the realization that you are such an utter fungus of a person will lead her to take the ring off and fling it at you. And if you're lucky, you may be able to find it and then give your ex-fiancé's sloppy seconds to your bit on the side. And what a lucky girl she'll be. Utter fungus. I love that. I'm going to be using that from now on. You utter fungus. People are telling OP to say the truth. And then PSYJG8 says, it would have been a problem in the old days until the 1970s, where it could be actionable as a breach of promise, but you're free in modern age to call it off without legal repercussions. And as for the ring, it is giving as an absolute gift, unless some agreement, whether expressed or implied, was made when giving it that it would be returned if the marriage did not occur. So OP, not only are you stupid, you're screwed. That is what the comments are trying to tell you. But OP then says, how am I going to propose to my work colleague then? We are going on holiday and I won't have a ring. What happens if I take the ring from her without her knowing? I mean, we live together at the moment, so I could easily do it. It's not theft really, is it? I mean, I bought it.
Jesus is Lord!
Oh my days, this man is a stupid buffoon. PSYJG8 is really trying to help OP, and they're like, it's no longer your property since you gave it away. It's the fact that they have to tell this moron in clear, straight, simple English, no, you cannot just take it from her while she's sleeping. And then Dusty Pilgrim says, legally the ring belongs to her, unless you place conditions on it when giving it to her. If you were so drunk that you lacked legal capacity to make a gift, then that could be grounds for getting it back. However, realistically, unless the ring cost a fortune, lawyers are not going to get involved and you'll have to resolve this between you guys. And OP, like the oblivious man he is, says, I spent £1,800 on the ring and I can't get it back? What's the legal capacity? I wouldn't be able to have driven myself in terms of how drunk I was that night. I've effed myself, haven't I? It doesn't seem fair to me that something I bought, which I accidentally gave someone, can be classified as theft. I spent $1,800 on the ring. Doesn't the law take into account the facts of accidents or mistakes? What if I honestly thought the ring was mine? And then Dusty Pilgrim says, of course it would still be theft. And OP's rebuttal is, but I bought it. Sorry, I've never seen somebody so stupid. I genuinely wish he would tell his girlfriend. I don't want this man to be able to reproduce. It is a scary world out there when people like this can have two women. What do they see in him? Oh, my head hurts from laughing. I'm sorry. But then the next day, OP then comes in with an update. OP says, update on wanting to cancel the engagement with my girlfriend and getting back the ring. I've had a long and hard think to myself, and I've decided to hand in my 4 weeks notice to my boss and start afresh. I think it's best my girlfriend doesn't find out about the affair I've been having. So I spoke to my colleague and I told her I'm not going on the holiday with her, and I've ended things with her. I've known my girlfriend longer, and my mom gave me a call saying she's happy and she's always wanted grandchildren and whatnot, so I don't want to disappoint my mom. I'm going to marry my girlfriend. She already planned out the wedding venue on her MacBook. She hid it from me, so I don't want to disappoint her. Genuinely, I would feel bad if I were to break up with her. She's been buzzing all day, calling all her friends saying she's getting married and taking photos of her ring, etc. I think it's the right thing to do. I'm just worried that my work colleague will somehow get a hold of my girlfriend and tell her about the times we've slept together. But that's my final decision, and I think I'll stick to that. Edit, can all the journalists please stop asking for interviews? I'm not happy to go public for a very obvious reason. The obvious reason being that you are a scum of the earth. He says he thinks that is the best outcome. I guess for him, this lady needs to know who she's dealing with. So the people he's considered in this entire ordeal as to why he doesn't want to break up and tell her the truth, he's considered the affair partner, he's considered his mom, he's considered himself, he's even considered his job. He's being thoughtful to everyone but the girlfriend. And I have a feeling this kind of person will 100% 100% cheat on this girl again. His first concern was about the ring, and now his concern is that she will find out about the cheating. No concern about her having hurt feelings. Nothing in his post. 2 posts this man has made. Nothing says, I feel bad. And to the people who are trying to get interviews from this man, this is funny because why would you think he would agree to be interviewed? At least he had one small brain cell working to say no. Why would you want me to reveal myself? I don't even think this is the naughty list. I think this is the hellfire list. A lump of coal is not enough for you. I think I need a brick and a sock. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And while you do that, I'm going to go on a short tea break. And when we come back, we'll go over to the next story. And before we dive in, I just want to give a short trigger warning that there are elements of abuse in this story. Jumping right into it, we are going straight into the True Off My Chest subreddit with a post by Training Noise 9549 who says, "My wife is deceased. This is the best Christmas present I could have gotten." Wow. That is quite an introduction right there. At the start of 2022, I caught my wife having an affair with one of her exes. Our marriage wasn't perfect. I was not the perfect husband, I will admit, but I did my best. I put effort into the entire 5 years we were together. I put my all into this relationship, but for her, I could not say the same. I was forced to confront the reality of who she truly was shortly after I caught her. She illegally evicted me from our shared home, lied to the police to try and get me arrested, tried to get me fired from my job, and tried to turn all of my friends against me. Some of her tactics succeeded, while others did not. She has made my life a living hell since the day I asked her for a divorce, and has planted her heels into the ground over our separation to try and drain all my finances and emotional strength from me. The only upside is we had no kids for her to use as weapons, but I soon found out that her policy of strict birth control with me did not extend to her suitor, as he got her pregnant 5 months ago. I thought maybe this would help speed along the divorce, but it only rallied her in her efforts to destroy me. On Christmas Eve, my wife and her suitor went to a party where both of them got drunk. I find this fact terrible as all her friends knew she was pregnant as well. Her suitor drove them home, a mistake that would cost them both their lives. In the state I live in, our divorce is now considered to have never even started. I'll be able to claim her life insurance policy for myself and move back into my home. Her parents called me up distraught yesterday, acting as if the last year has never happened and offered their full support to my funeral preparations for her. My confusion here was beyond belief, but the apple does not fall far from the tree when it comes to my wife. I told them if they want a funeral, it has to come out of their pockets. I'll pay for her to be cremated and deliver her ashes to them in the cheapest urn offered if they desire. And they called me horrible, and they tried to guilt me about her life insurance, but after only 4 minutes on the phone with them, I hung up and blocked every one of her family's numbers. I'm going to be taking a few extra days off work to move back into my home over the next week. I've already made arrangements to have her stuff hauled off, so my home will be an empty canvas to start my life anew. I don't know if there is a God or if this was just karma, but I truly believe now that I have come out on the other side of the storm. No, I'm still here. I'm just trying to figure out what to say. I don't blame him, to be honest. You know, with the hell she has put him through for a year, I don't blame this man for being happy that the witch is gone. I would be relieved too if my abuser just finally up and left me. Her mother and father calling and being like, "We are here to support you with the funeral costs." What do you mean support? No, I am going to support you. This is your child. When she was doing what she was doing, you guys weren't offering support to OP. But now you want to offer support. Support for the funeral. And once OP shut that down, their real reason for calling became clear. They talked about the life insurance. That is what they were interested in. They are interested in making sure they get their daughter's payout. I don't know why, but I always find that weird. Like when people pass and the first thing on some people's minds at the funeral or at the event is, did they have life insurance, or what happens to their assets? Have you even pretended to at least slightly grieve the person who has passed, like before you start thinking of how to get yourself settled in their assets? I don't know, it just feels weird. But OP is being honest. I mean, that's why it's called True Off My Chest. I see no reason why he should be feeling guilty or sad about his wife passing when she was clearly abusive to him. Her trying to isolate him, getting his friends to turn on him, her trying to get get him fired. All of these are abusive tactics. They're abuse. So yes, if your abuser passes, I would expect you to feel some kind of relief. Let him have some semblance of peace finally. You can't have her spirit haunt him even after he's free from the shackles of that marriage. Was the title shocking? A little bit. Like I said, some people we can't even decide to put on a naughty list because they aren't even here to be put on a said list. Dark humor, I'm sorry. I'm joking.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
And in the comments, a deleted user says, I really hope they were the only ones involved in the accident. Selfish a-holes it sounds like. And OP responds, I won't elaborate any further, but they were the only lives taken. Their own families will be the only one affected beyond a simple car repair bill, thankfully. And the deleted user responds and says, this makes me so happy. I could see myself smiling in the reflection of my phone as I read this in Chipotle. The people next to me are probably sure I'm crazy because I laughed a big belly chuckle when I got to the part about the accident. And I began humming a jolly version of Ding Dong, the Wicked Witch is Dead. I have a malignant, narcissist lawyer ex-wife that did a smear campaign, false criminal charges, went after my medical license, called my jobs, kept my kids from me, the whole effing thing. And I really want to know what God you believe in, what sign you were born under, or what voodoo lady you visited to get this favor from the universe. Because I would lick windows, I would F farm animals, and or fart my way through the Star-Spangled Banner to get it. Nonetheless, I take solace in knowing that if there is a heaven, your wife ain't in it. God bless you, sir, and have a happy new year. And before I jump over to the update, OP does have a comment. He says, judge me how you will. I will not argue with how my actions influence others' opinions about me. I just know that if the situation was reversed, my wife would be shopping around for a sports car with the life insurance money she collected on me. But you're right, I don't like them, but they do deserve her things if they want them. So, I'll unblock her mom and offer to make arrangements to deliver her stuff wherever she wants. If she wants it all or only certain things, I will eat the cost and I'll deliver it to her. I'm already paying to have it hauled and trashed, so there's no point in caring where it goes. I cut those people out of my life when they turned on me due to the false accusations when I had video evidence to prove otherwise. If her lies being exposed in 4K wasn't enough to convince them, then they are nothing more than anchors to be released in the sea. I'll be installing cameras at the house tomorrow. The locks have already been changed. My divorce lawyer has given me recommendations and I'm meeting with an attorney on Wednesday. And then OP's update says, I've decided to elaborate on a few common threads I see in this post here, as responding to all comments would be too much. Firstly, some people are judging me for the way I'm reacting to the passing of 3 people. And you're right, it is not normal, nor is it healthy, but I feel no emotions towards my ex at this moment. All my hatred, resentment, and regret evaporated when I learned of her passing. I feel nothing but relief right now. This void has slowly consumed me over the past few days, and I feel numb, like I'm dreaming, like what happened is not real. This woman made my life a living hell for over a year. She set out to destroy me, and she would not stop until she did. I do not like the fact that I feel this way over the passing of 3 people, but that is not a box I feel ready to unpack at this moment. Secondly, I have reached out to my ex's mom today, and things are much more civil as of now. I'll be paying the hauling company to move her stuff into one of their storage units, and they can figure out the rest. Her mother revealed to me that they cannot afford to host a funeral for my ex. I'm 100% the legal beneficiary of her life insurance, but despite my past hatred for her family, I told her mother I will give them a small amount of her life insurance so they can have a service and arrange the burial logistics for her. This is contingent on us cutting ties after, and I will not be involved any further in her funeral, and I will still be talking to a lawyer. Lastly, I'm not going to elaborate any further except that the only lives taken were hers, her suitor, and their unborn child. Some are saying I should sell the house. Right now, I only want to return to my home. The details of where I end up, either there or somewhere over the rainbow, are not yet determined. I do not know what life holds for me, or for any of us. This event happened, maybe for a reason, or maybe the universe has no logic at all. This, quote, gift put an end to a period of my life that sent me to the brink of destruction. It's morbid to think that the passing of 3 people was what pulled me to the other side alive. And it's interesting how quick it can all change or end. And that's the last post we have from OP. That is the gift that OP got for the holiday. It's true that, the way OP is handling grief, considering he was married to his wife for 5 years, may be considered unhealthy. But I look at it from a logical perspective. His wife was the one who tainted the memory. All he could think about was the fact that it's ended. When you've dealt with someone like this for a whole year, when you've been put on the brink of destruction, when your sanity has been tested, when that loud noise or that loud presence finally stops, I would expect the first reaction you have to be relief. But let me know what you guys think. I don't want to dampen the holiday spirit. Okay, let me know what you guys think. Naughty list. The only person in that entire car I say shouldn't be on the naughty list is their unborn child. Unfortunate that the unborn child was about to be born to parents who were stupid enough to drink and drive. Don't drink and drive, people. I need you guys alive and well and here present with me. If I have to suffer through life, I would like to know we are suffering life together. Okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And while you do that, I am going to go on a short tea break. For this season, I'm drinking a lot of chamomile tea with like a lemon slice in it and some honey drizzled in. It is just so lovely. The smell, the flavor. I highly recommend. But when we come back, we are going to go over to the next story. We are going over to the relationship advice subreddit with a post by Throra Forgotten One, who says, "My really new girlfriend invited me to go to Christmas. What are your thoughts? OP is 29 male and his girlfriend is 27 female. So I'm an oops baby, something that my family has constantly reminded me of since I was little because it's, quote, funny. My brother 44, my sister 42, and my sister 39 were all planned by our parents. I was the result of a drunken fun night on New Year's Eve, according to my dad. I've never been close to my siblings due to the large age gap. And my parents, while they were never mean, they never went out of their way to show me the same love that my siblings get, or at least that is how it's always felt. For instance, when I was younger, I was in choir. I used to love to sing, but no one in my family ever came to see me sing. I was told we are busy or we have other plans, so I gave up singing. But I remember them going to my other siblings' dance recitals, so I gave up doing anything besides working on my computer and playing with my friends. I stuck to just getting good with my computers, and in doing so, I ended up in a good job where I've been working for almost 10 years now. I began at the bottom of IT, and now I've worked my way up to being a manager for about 15 people. However, being in IT means I occasionally miss out on family events as well as some holidays because where I work, it's 24/7 split into 12-hour shifts. And due to this, over the years, I have been, quote, accidentally forgotten to be invited because, quote, we figured you were working without actually asking me. This has been a recurring issue with my family, forgetting to ask me to join them or making excuses as to why I wasn't invited. However, one thing I could always rely on was being able to show up on Christmas Eve, that is when we celebrate Christmas, and still feel like I belong, even if it was later in the evening. Most of the love I got came from my nieces, who always think of me as a cool uncle and have always been happy to see me. I happened to stop over at my folks yesterday, and while I was there I saw my nieces. My parents tend to watch them on the weekends, and that is a whole different story. But my nieces asked if I was eager for Christmas as we get to hang out in the cabin this year. I looked confused and I asked my mom what they were talking about, and she looked obviously embarrassed and said everyone made plans in June to celebrate in a rental cabin in Vermont for Christmas. Lol, I kid you not. She looked at me and said, quote, we all figured you had work again and couldn't get the time off, so everyone figured you wouldn't mind missing one Christmas. Had they said something, I could have taken time off. To say I was and I'm heartbroken is an understatement. Like, I get I'm obviously an oops baby and not really ever thought of much, if ever, but to just be left alone for Christmas on purpose. I mean, how does a family do that to someone? I just turned around, hugged my nieces, said goodbye, and left. I didn't even say goodbye to my mom. I pride myself in being a strong individual, especially on how my family has always treated me. But I'm not going to lie, I actually cried on my way home. Never in my life have I ever felt so rejected, mainly by the people who are supposed to love me. I couldn't even ask her when they planned on telling me, or if they planned on telling me. What would happen if I showed up after work and no one was there? I just left. I probably should have asked, but I was hurting too much to really care at the moment. Now here's my dilemma. I have a new girlfriend, Zoe, and by new, I mean we've only been going out and seeing each other since just after Thanksgiving. I sent her a text when I got home telling her what happened, as I had to talk to someone. She kind of knows about my family. Being in such a new relationship, I didn't want to unload all my baggage on her, but she does know that me and and my family don't have a standard type relationship. Anyway, she has invited me to go with her to celebrate Christmas with her family. I haven't given her an answer yet. In my past relationships, I or we were together months before the Christmas invite ever came up. However, this is the first relationship where it's only been a few weeks, so I'm asking the people of Reddit for their advice. Would going with Zoe to her families be a good idea, being that it's so new? Is there a potential downside? Would it be better to be gracious and thank her for the invite but decline, or do I accept the invite and go? By the way, I do have to work Christmas Eve again this year, but not on Christmas Day, so that is a plus, I guess. LOL. I rambled enough, and I'm sorry this thing got a little too long, but TLDR, my family quote purposely failed to invite me to join them for Christmas in Vermont, and I just found out. My new girlfriend invited me to join her family, but I'm not sure if I should go as it's only been a few weeks we've been together. To go or not to go, that is the question. That is such an awful thing by the family. It's one thing if the siblings were mocking OP when they were kids by saying, "You were an accident," I would say sibling banter. But the parents, the dad himself telling OP he was a mistake from a drunken fun night. OP hasn't strictly said I've never come. He just said due to work, he has missed certain events, but not all of them. But the one thing he said he was always able to show up on was Christmas Eve. So they know that he comes for Christmas every year without fail. He may not come for Thanksgiving, he may miss out on Valentine's Day or whatever, but for Christmas he was always present. This idea that they claim to have forgotten him, I don't buy it, it's BS. They intentionally left him out because they feel he doesn't fit in. We already have a relationship dynamic without OP being here. It is one thing if the siblings were treating OP bad, but the parents who actually had a hand in bringing OP into the world, they're the ones who are treating him this way. They're the ones who are letting this happen. Because if they had told his siblings from childhood, no, all of you, we love all of you equally, no matter how you guys came to be, we see you as precious gifts to our family. None of you are more deserving of our affection than the other. If the parents weren't matching the siblings' energies, they wouldn't have continued to do what they were doing. They've clearly isolated this man, and this man has grown up to realize he doesn't fit into the family because they don't want him there. They've actually told him without telling him they don't want him there. Every single function he has had, they've missed out. He's dropped things he loved because his family wasn't there showing up for him. He's dealt with this for his whole life, and this was the one thing he felt, they invite me for this. Even if they don't come to my events, even if they've never shown me full sibling bond and love like they have, this one thing is one thing that they give me, Christmas, and they've taken it away from him. The one thing they were even sparing to give him is gone. I do think he should go to his girlfriend's Christmas. You'd be surprised how sometimes even new relationships can be more valuable than the ones you had for years. If she's heard him vent to her, and what she says to him is, "I really don't want you to be alone. Come with me to my family's Christmas." That is a very thoughtful invite, and I would say he should take her offer on it. Go in there with a nice bottle of wine or whatever, and try to make a good impression when you're meeting her mom and dad. You never know. Maybe you might have found your new family. There's no reason for you to be alone on what is supposed to be a joy-filled occasion. In the comments, Turbulent Oven 9191 says, "I would go and just try to enjoy yourself. It beats staying home." And then Tight Jaguar 3881 says, "It may be a wonderful experience for you. She obviously likes you or she would not have invited you, and that has to be better than how you've described your family. Don't volunteer to be mistreated anymore by your family. I know you're sad, but look upon this invitation as opening a new door, perhaps to a new life of being loved." And Hats and Top Coat says, "Your family is full of terrible people, and your parents should be incredibly ashamed of themselves. What does the invitation from your girlfriend entail? Is this a multi-day stay with her family? Or is it coming with her for half a day to her parents' house? What are we talking about here?" And OP responds and says, "Yeah, my feelings about my family are mixed right now, because you aren't wrong. But as for my girlfriend, she said it would be from like 2 p.m. to 7 p.m.-ish, so like half a day, and they live just outside the city where we both live, so it wouldn't be a far drive. I guess I just don't want to seem like a pity case, even though I kinda am. I really like Zoe. She's smart and funny, and we both have the same interest. I just don't want to ruin a potentially good thing with my family drama." We have 2 updates from OP. The first one he makes a couple days after Christmas, and then the next one he makes January of this year. So let's go over to the first update post. OP says, "First of all, thanks for those that commented on my first post. I wasn't really sure if I should go or not, but it was the best decision I ever made. When I told told my girlfriend that I would love to go with her. She was really happy. I did what others suggested and I bought a really nice bottle of wine for her family and a few gifts for my girlfriend. I thought there'd be a bit of awkwardness, but none of that happened. When we arrived, I met her family and I was treated just like I belonged there. I had a great time. We had some really good food and played some games, and overall it was a great experience and much different than any Christmas I ever had with my family. Speaking of which, they, or my mom, called me while I was at my girlfriend's family, and I don't think they were happy about it by the tone of her voice. LOL. We were in the middle of playing Pictionary and everyone was having a good time. She asked where I was and I told her. I wished her a Merry Christmas and I hung up the phone and then I turned it off. I wasn't going to let her or them ruin a good time. When it was time to go, everyone thanked me for coming and they said they hoped I had a good time. I don't think I could wipe the smile off my face even if I wanted to. It was such a nice and loving group of people. I know this relationship is still super new, but the amount of love I receive from my girlfriend and her family really makes me hope that this works out. I've never felt in my whole life what I felt on Christmas. And as someone said on my first post, it felt like a Hallmark movie of sorts. I know it's just all the new feelings, but if anything, I've learned that I deserve more than what little my family gives me. Thanks again to everyone for talking me into going. It was the best decision ever. That makes me so happy. But like I said, OP has another update. OP says, I still get lots of requests for an update. My last update was removed due to the only 2 posts allowed by the subreddit rule. So I'm here to give a final update of the fallout. Again, I want to thank everyone for their kind words and taking time to comment. It felt good to know that there are so many kind people here on Reddit. So on to the update. Well, I finally had a talk with my mom and dad yesterday after work. I told them the amount of disrespect and dismissiveness I've received from them and the family will no longer be acceptable. That for years, I put up with the mental and emotional abuse from them, thinking that is what family was. However, after spending time with my girlfriend's family, I realized how toxic they are. Of course, my mom tried to gaslight me, saying I was overreacting and making things sound worse than they actually were. So I pointed out time after time where they disregarded me, made me feel unwanted and forgotten, how I was always treated as an afterthought because I didn't fit into their quote perfect family picture, and Christmas being a prime example of it. I told them that at least for the foreseeable future, I won't be coming to any family events and that I will call them but they cannot call me, that I deserve better and I deserve more than what they've been giving me. I also pointed out how my mom got upset that I was having a good time with someone else's family, and that proves my point. But in the meantime, we can try to rebuild some kind of relationship, but for now, I'm walking away and I'm putting myself first for once. My dad nodded his head, understanding I think for the first time how they've treated me. My mom started crying and I had to walk away. It was clearly a guilt trip. I also texted my brother and sisters as to keep my mom from trying to manipulate what was said. The older two think I'm being petty and overreacting to, but I expected as much. My youngest sister, the niece's mom, seems to understand and said that I was still welcome to see them if I wanted. Besides that, there's not much else. I've been invited to Easter dinner by my girlfriend and her family, so I'm looking forward to that. I know it's a ways off, but it's nice to know that I apparently made a good impression, that they've invited me back. Thanks again for all the comments. It really helped me. Don't you just love it when you try to confront narcissistic parents or parents who are just toxic and they almost always have the same response? We never did that. You're overreacting. That's not how it happened. So what? I'm a bad parent. We fed you. We clothed you. What do you mean we never loved you? We got you school bags. We got you books. You're being so ungrateful right now. You're taking everything we've done for you and just shoving it back in our faces. Almost always, it's the same narrative that they will always put out there. So most times some people will tell you like there's no point in confronting your toxic parents. You'll never agree that they were wrong. Because what do you mean they were wrong? Didn't they house you? Didn't they feed you? Isn't that enough as a parent? And to the older siblings, I'm not surprised. When a parent has a favorite, that favorite child will have a hard time calling out the parent's behavior as bad because it benefits them. When you describe the parent as a bad person, all they will see is, well, she's never been bad to me, so I think you're overreacting. Or from my perspective, it doesn't look like it was that traumatic because it didn't happen to you. So of course it's not traumatic to you. So you think the person is overreacting. You think that person is being petty, calling out instances. But the thing is, little instances can build up into a huge thing. And that is why the Christmas situation broke OP. Because it's been a series of little disappointments from his parents and his family. So when this huge one happened, it just felt like the straw that broke the camel's back. That is what happened here. And so they think OP is just overreacting about missing one Christmas. But OP OP grow up. That is what he'll tell him. And to the girlfriend and her family, I say OP, be on your best behavior. The internet strangers are here rooting for you. But do let me know what you guys think at least, okay? I say everybody naughty list. Just write down the names one by one. Just put them there. But all things said, you know what I think. So I would love to know what you guys think. And with that said, that is a wrap on today's trip down the rabbit hole. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching all the way to the end. If you are seeing this, do tell me what your holiday plans are. And if you've enjoyed today's video, first of all, thank you. But don't forget to hit that like button, and then you can subscribe to help the channel grow, which I appreciate. Again, thank you guys for over 1,000 subscribers. I'm really, really grateful for you guys. And you can also tap the notification bell just so you always know when a new video drops. And then you can also follow us on social media. I list the handles on the screen, but they're also in the description box down below. And hey, if you have your own stories, your questions, confessions, holiday nightmares, I would love to hear them. We have our own subreddit, which is r/AshleyReddit. Feel free to post your stories on there. You can snoop around, and who knows, yours might end up in the next video. Until next time, keep it nosy, keep it cozy. Ashley read it, and now so did you. Happy holidays! Happy holidays!